Welcome to Friday Night Live on the G-Lew Show. Tonight we got a very special guest. The big homie Big Joe is back. We're going to talk about a lot of things, y'all. So kick back, hang tight. Welcome to the G-Lew Show. Let's go.
Back in the days when I was young, trying to make a way, coming up fast in the game, just trying to make a play. Now that I'm grown, I think of ways I can get away, get away, get away. Back in the days when I was young, trying to make a way, coming up fast in the game, just trying to make a play. Now that I'm grown, I think of ways I can get away, get away, get away. Back in the days when I was young, trying to come up, a student in the game, so I always stay one up, study with my gun up and my eyes on the prize. Never listen to the phonies, cause I know they told lies. And when I say phonies, I ain't talking about the homies, I'm talking about you busters, you're the ones who turned on me. Time will reveal all the haters when they still try to kill all my joy, but they never can destroy the makings of a man, foundations of a boy who made it out the struggle, trying to make a little more. This is how I score a point game. Speak up on the real, we don't tolerate you suckers and you lames. Niggas trying to profit off the game, leading little homies down the wrong road. You gotta make a change, the game ain't the same as it used.
Yeah. Welcome everyone to the show. This is the G-Lew Show. After Hours Live on a Friday night. And tonight we got a very, very special guest. We got the big homies back once again. Tonight we're going to talk about a lot of things. The homie has a big event coming up. We'll talk about some movies, some Hollywood stuff, you know, all that good stuff. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, hold on 1 second. Okay, my bad. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest is here, the official Big Joe.
What's up, Big Joe? You, my brother. How you?
Can you hear me? Okay,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we do. We just have
No,
a little bit
of.
Okay, man, how you doing, Joe? Everything good?
Everything's good. Everything's going good, man. You know, I want to say hi to everybody that's on here too. Big Q with everybody on here. You know, to and then to DD also. What's up, DD? And man, I'm just here, man, right here working, grinding, man. You know, we're doing this nationwide concert coming up April 27th.
Yes, sir. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. First and foremost, salute to you. I see you backstage with your hat on. So I said, let me put my hat on. Shit, let me put my shit on so I could, be like Big Joe, man. You know what I mean? So thank you again, though, for blessing us with your presence, man. Always an honor, when you come on the platform. It's always great to see you, big guy. You know what I mean? I know you're a busy man, always doing big things. And it's good to see and hear from you sometimes, bro. So thank you again for coming on the show tonight.
Of course, man. It's a pleasure to be here, man. The honor is all mine, man, to be right here with the homie right here, G-Lew.
Yes, sir.
You, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So what you been up to, Big Joe? First, let me say this, because a lot of people, what up, House, Love, Grace, everyone in the chat. I know we used to see you with the homie a lot, the homie Paul. How's the homie Paul doing first?
Paul's doing good. He's doing really good. I just talked to him like 2 days ago. Okay. Yeah, he's doing good, man. The family's doing good. He's still on the move doing his projects.
Right. Okay. Well, now there's a lot of people. We used to see you on the show with Paul, the LA Times, which is a great show. And then I know you're doing your thing, movies and all that. But what have you been up to, Big Joe, specifically? I know you're a hardworking man.
Man, I just been just grinding, dog. You know, working with Nationwide with Adrian, with the concert.
Right.
And then also been working. We're actually in the process. We're filming 2 movies right now. We had 3, but right now we finished 1. Now we're doing 2. And it's just been like nonstop, man, nonstop. So when I have the opportunity to kick back and chill, I like to kick back and, listen to the G-Lew show and just kick back and relax. Have me a Mountain Dew and just chill. The invisible one, because it takes away my invisible.
Right. Yeah. I see the homie N-Dub in the chat. What up, N-Dub? Speaking of that, I mean, let's get right into it. The Nationwide, first of all, working with Nationwide, which I'm sure is a big promotional, I don't know, company, but this big show event coming up, man. I mean, the promotion is off the chains, but I mean, I just think this show is going to be one of the best, biggest in a long time. The lineup is crazy, and then it's like every day I see new people added to the lineup. I'm like, wow, that's just gonna be incredible. Joe, tell us about this big thing you guys got going on and nationwide.
Yeah, the thing about it, everybody always says, "Oh man, this one's going to be the biggest and the greatest and this and that." But honestly, this one is like this one's really like, man,
Talk
it's
Joe.
yeah, man. We've been like, it's all Adrian, 100%. But we've been putting our heads together, and we've been really like try to make this the best experience that the guests that come out to the concert would have a great experience. Not just sit there and watch somebody singing, but to come out there and have an interaction, to be able to see like celebrities, influencers, and actors, whoever, on the red carpet, even have themselves walk the red carpet and take pictures, stuff they probably never did before. And that's what we're creating right now. And that's what, like, together, me and Endo, we've been grinding on this just to give a great interaction for all the guests that come out. And I want to say a big shout out to Big Ish right there, to Adrian right there. Give it to you guys, man.
Hey, tell us too, man, because aside from the crazy lineup you guys have, like you just mentioned, just a couple things, but from what I'm heard, even Dub told me it's going to be a gang of other stuff going on, like you said, activities, food, drinks, and just like you said, activities, different showcases and setups and other stages. Like, tell us all the things going on at this all-day family event as well, right?
Yeah, it's a family event. Along with having the podcast zone, where we're gonna have I think maybe 5 or 6 different podcasts going on at one time. They'll have their own little area where they're going to be doing the podcasting. We'll also have the 100-foot media wall, which is the red carpet wall. Man, that's like one of the biggest ones. I've never seen 100-foot, to be honest with you. Yeah. So this one's going to be off the chain, man, with all of our sponsors and everybody that's put in work with this concert. And then it's going to be covered by Chicano Hollywood. They're going to be there covering the red carpet. And then, and then we're also getting the big, as long as the weather permits, we're going to have the big digital screen behind the stage, So, man, yeah, it's going to be off the chain, man. We're doing something special with the stage that hasn't been done in a long time. You know what I mean? And I'm going to leave that just hanging out there like that. I don't really want to reveal that right now, but you'll see it when you come down, man. It's going to be off the hook what we're doing. Right. And then after that, we're having the after party with Lefty Gunplay. And that's going to be off the chain too right there, man. As soon as the concert's over, we're going to be going up to the pavilion up on top. There's an area, like a little, what do you call it? A separate venue up on top where we're going to have that with Lefty Gunplay. And that's going to be off the chain too, man. They got a lot of great performers that are going to be doing that concert also. So it's crazy, man, to have a big concert happen and then do a little concert on the side after. Yeah, it's going to be, it's something.
I think that's dope too, because I see N-Dub again. He told me as well, because I'm thinking the after party's maybe away somewhere. He's like, nah, it's right there. You know what I mean? So you don't have to go far, go anywhere really. You know what I mean? So that makes it more comfortable for the people as well. So I'm sure that's gonna be crazy too,
Yeah, and that's limited seats right there, and that's gonna be like more like it's gonna be like everybody's gonna be able to be in that and up. It's just up the stairs right there, so you don't have to drive. You just walk up the stairs, go into that separate venue right there. And it's gonna be quaint. It's gonna be like more one-on-one situation right there, and that's gonna be off the chain. We're gonna have a great time right there. Yeah.
That's dope. So you personally, Big Joe, who are you looking forward to seeing at your show?
Oh man, honestly, the one I haven't seen perform live is Little Rob. I worked on his music video that he just released February 14th for Valentine's Day. The Ortega brothers are the ones that did it, but I was a co-producer on that one. So I got to meet Little Rob and his wife and his son, and it was great. Even Lefty Gunplay came out to say hi to Little Rob. So I got to meet Lefty Gunplay that day. But like Little Rob, man, honestly, he's such a cool person, man, really down to earth. And that was my first time meeting him, and he was just like really good guy, man. So I got to spend like think it was 2 days or 3 days while we're filming that with them, but I haven't seen him on stage. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you guys see that part in the music video where he's in the back of the police car, I'm actually driving the police car during that scene right there in Hollywood Boulevard. So, but it just shows him, but I'm driving the car because I'm the one that's insured on that police car. It's one of our studio cars. So I'm driving back there, and then they have all the cameras mounted and all that stuff, and people are like looking, like who's there, who's in the car. But yeah, it was cool, man, to be a part of that.
Wow, that's dope. And another thing I like about this the big show coming up, I don't even know what to call it. Show, it's an event. I don't know, it's big, bro. But like I said again, you have so many people there. Is it gonna be multiple stages or one stage and people coming on? Because you have a lot of, like I'm saying again, I'm seeing new people added on top of your main artists, and I'm sure that people are gonna be up there for a good minute performing. How are the performances gonna break down?
It's all on one stage. It's all on one stage. And luckily, we have a great stage manager that's going to be running it. He always keeps everything, on time. And that's going to be Johnny Deeproot. And then he always like kills it when he does the being a stage manager. Then he's going to have Big Izzy there helping him too. So it helps out when Big Izzy's right there, like 6'5", so he gets the tower over everybody and make sure that everybody's in position. Make sure there's no extra people on stage. That's the number one thing, man. You can't let the stage get too crowded or more people that needs to be up there, because they, as soon as they're up, they think then they're off. You got to get everybody off and get the next group on in a timely manner. So that way everybody performs, all the songs they need to do without shorting the guests that come out to watch them,
Got you. And I see Dub say it's a lot of special guests, but not all are performing. Okay, I didn't know who, because I'm seeing the lineup and the people on the flyer. So a lot of people are guests, just opposed to performing.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists. Yeah, there's a lot of artists that are going to show up, but they're just going there to enjoy the concert also.
I got you.
Yeah, they're coming as special guests. Yeah. So like when you see that lineup with Little Rob, MC Magic, Rolls Royce, Jenny 6ix9ine, Bella the Rapper, all them, they're all going to be on stage. You know what I mean? But not the other ones coming out. But the other ones that come out, man, you'll be able to say what's up, maybe take a picture with them. Like I said, we're going to have artists there. We're going to have actors there. We're going to have influencers there. It's going to be a great time. We even got a little Eazy coming out too.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's what's up. Yeah, that's going to be cracking, man. I can't wait. I think we're going to be on the part of the red carpet thing too, right? With the media stuff. But I want to come back later and kick it though, as well. You know what I mean? With you back there, Joe. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Yes, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll go up there and we'll enjoy the after party too.
Yeah, for sure. So everyone out there, don't forget, we got the link. DD put the link in the chat for the tickets. Tickets are still on sale. Tell them about the tickets, because Dub was telling us about the specials you guys had. Like, you guys are really making it, affordable and, something people are going to want to feel good paying their money for.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? With Dub, man, like he had a pricing points where it was the sooner you got them, the cheaper they were. So they were going up little by little. But what he did a sale. It was like buy 3, get 1 free. But that one already expired. I don't think he has one, but I know he has some discount codes that are going to come out. He was telling me about that today.
Okay.
He's giving out like prices so everybody can enjoy the concerts. You know what I mean? To come out and enjoy the event. I kind of consider it more like a backyard boogie, because when everybody comes out, you have that vibe like that. You know what I mean? Like, thank God we haven't had no issues with people fighting or people being disrespectful. Like that good old fashioned party time. Hey, everybody's having their drinks or whatever, and they're dancing and they're just having a great time, man. And that's one thing that we kind of push out here, but let's not get into the drama part of it. You know what I mean?
Right. I was speaking about that before to someone else, but I just love how nowadays it's not to say it's not crazy, but it's not like it used to be. You know what I mean? So a lot of these things we can enjoy. You know what I mean? Without all the BS. Which is better these days.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I grew up in the 80s and 90s going to concerts and stuff. And
it turned
out 80s and 90s, Garrett. Yeah, man, guarantee shooting, stabbing, fights, the
Yeah,
whole nine, man.
yeah,
Most events would get shut down like either somewhere around the halfway or before.
right,
Everything gets shut down and closed. Yeah, but thank God it ain't like that now. And
right.
everybody's just out there having a good time, having fun.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a good time now for that. Like you see now more lowrider events and people cruising, and like you said, more shows like this, and it's all love, you know. So I think
Yes.
that's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Um,
Absolutely.
I know it's a family event too as well, so people can bring their kids. What can when a kid does come, what are there things for the kids, or there's something they can enjoy too, besides the good music and
Like I'm
good.
Yeah, I've been working more like on the visuals, more on the promotions part of it. But I'm pretty sure End Up had things that he wants to do for the kids. Like in previous ones, he's had jumpers and stuff like that. But like for me, I was thinking towards the later evening, I probably wouldn't have kids there because
Right,
some of the songs that come out, you know what I mean?
right,
So it depends. I don't know what the new generation is like and how people are with their kids these days. If they don't mind their kids listening to music with cussing in it, or if that's the issue. But yeah, that's just but yeah, but it's safe enough to bring your mom, your grandma, your kids. You know what I
right.
mean? If you want to do that, or if you have to do that because you ain't got a babysitter or something.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, Joe, tell us about on the flip side, getting away from well, no, not getting away from this because the nationwide, what is the whole so is the nationwide the because I'm sure you guys are doing other big things too. What is the whole nationwide productions about?
Yeah, nationwide, it's all about it's like nationwide promotions or different concerts. You know what I mean? Like what End Up's doing right now is he's doing back in the day, and he also does summer nights. Every year he does two big concerts.
Right.
Usually summer nights is scheduled around August the 3rd. He's still working on that right now, but he has a lot of things in the works right now. A lot of things moving. But of course, you got to get through April 27th before we can get 100% into, August the 3rd. But he
I
is working on it.
I think Big Joe, I think you guys are about to change. You and N Dub and the whole crew, you guys are about to change the game with this one, bro. I really think so. I just see this being big. It just seems really hype. It's just the promotion is crazy, but I mean, you guys have done great promotion.
Yeah, honestly, it's just thanks
Like I
to
said,
everybody that works with us, all of our friends, everybody that we work with in the movie industry and the music industry. They have all been helping us push, and they've all been posting, and everybody wants End Up to succeed, and that's what we're all doing together, man. It's like it takes a family to raise. I mean, it takes a village to raise, right? So it
yeah,
also takes all your family and friends to help you succeed when you're starting a business like this. And if anybody deserves the help, man, because he's a good person, he's got a big heart, and he'll give you the shirt off his back, literally. You know what I mean?
yeah. N Dub is a good dude for sure, for sure. Real respectable guy. Got nothing but love for him. And shout out N Dub. I seen that promo commercial you did today with the Snoop. Hey man, that was. Hey man, I'm looking forward to this, man. That's all I can say. I like that promo you did today, brother. That was cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
With Snoop Dogg. Everyone be looking for I don't know what he calls himself, but just be looking for Snoop Dogg on the 27th too. That was funny, man. That I'm
yeah,
looking forward to this, man. Seriously.
yeah. And we got some more videos that Dove's gonna be dropping out pretty soon too. Some more.
Yeah. Said Joe shot and directed that. So yeah, that's what I was about to flip to. Big Joe, tell us about on the flip side. You're doing this, but on the flip side, man, you really heavily. I've seen your growth in this, and you've heavily dived into the movie production. I don't know what your titles are, but you dived into that pretty heavily now. You're like you're a veteran damn near in this thing with the movies and films. Joe, tell us about that side of you, man, and how did all that, for the people who don't know, come about and get going for you?
Man, I got started in that a little over 4 years ago, and in 4 years, I've produced. Well, I've had different titles: executive producer, associate producer. But then I also each movie, if you see the movies I do, they'll say executive producer, but also props master because I make most of the props that we use. Casting, I'll cast actors, locations, vehicles, whatever needs to get done at the end of the day. That's what I do. I get things done, and look, in these past a little over 4 years, I've done about 10 movies, but I've been a part of about maybe 15 movies. So we've been, man, just like grinding in these 4 years, man. It's just been nonstop, boom, boom, boom. And we've been up to like doing 3 movies at a time. And man, that takes a lot out of you, man. Like when you're like trying to figure out this guy's get there for this movie, this for this, and this for this. At the end of the day, man, you're having dreams about movies, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, you're regurgitating movies, and it's like I don't even want to look at a TV at the end of the day. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We just finished one. I don't even know what platform it's out. It's out on a platform. It's called Those Who Inherit the Earth. And
Okay.
that's about like abuse, like child abuse, spouse abuse, stuff like that. It's a movie with a message, and
Right.
and it has a Christian message to it. And it's already won a few awards at different film festivals. And they just got it on a couple of platforms, but I'm not sure exactly where they're at, where that movie's at.
Mm. The homie South, shout out to Southtown SD. He said you house or he could be a stunt double or vice
Oh,
versa.
yeah. Oh yeah. What's up,
South-
South? That's the homie right there in the House of Tattoos.
Yeah.
What's up, Cardinal? How you doing? Cholo Chucker. That's the homie right there too. Man, you know what's funny is like the friendships that we made like a little over a year ago when we did that Cholo Chucker and Gunner fight.
Right.
Man, we're still friends, man. We still kick it. Like I was just with Cholo Chucker like a few weeks ago, where I see him at all the events, or he'll go with me to events, him and his wife, and man, we kick it. We've developed a really good friendship, and it's cool, man. You know what I mean?
What you think about Cholo about to have another fight coming up soon? Cholo Chuck.
I know, man. Yeah, I know. You called and told me about it, and yeah, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, me too. Shout out to Cholo Trucker, man. That's the world's most interesting man, right there. He does it all. Shout out to my bro, man.
Hey, honestly, like he is the most interesting man in the world, dog. Like that guy from like doing those mud runs and doing the swimming from Alcatraz
Right.
to the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and then doing the marathons on bikes and
Hey, Joe, check this out. I know I said this before, and I don't know if Cholo likes it, but it's funny to me. But speaking of that, like we all met up one day. This was a year. I don't know when it was. We met up for breakfast, and it was out somewhere. I forgot where we met, because I think the homie Paul set it up, but he couldn't make it. But we met for breakfast, right? You know, we all pull up. I drove over there. Big D pulls up, and then we're waiting. You know, that's when Paul said he can't make it, but Cholo Trucker should be there soon. Cholo Trucker pulls up on his bike, man. I said, "Wow!" And he drove that bike. I don't know how far he came, but it was far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just to speak on that again. Shout out to the homie Cholo Trucker.
and you think you're gonna see one of the guys those bikes, you know, with Tour de France with those those skin
that's
tight
how he
shorts.
looked. He didn't have the shorts.
Instead,
But
he's
he looked.
with his cut off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how he looked,
Yep.
bro. He didn't have the shorts though. I won't do you like that, Cholo. But that's
no, he had the cut off dickies, huh?
I was like, wow. I commended that guy, man. Shout out to my brother, man. Yeah. But what I would thank you, Corey Silva. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the donation. But what I was gonna say, Joe, you've done, just like you said, it's only been 4 years. It seemed like much longer, but you've done in 4 years, I'm sure what so many few have done in that small time being in that industry. Joe, what would you credit that to?
Man, that's all God right there. I've had people ask me before and say, "Hey, Joe, like, who do you know in the industry?" You know, they're like, "I've been doing background for like 10 years, and I haven't had the opportunity to direct or produce or any of that yet. Like,
Right.
who do you know? You have family?" I'm like, "No, man, I don't have no family in the industry. It's just God just showing favor in me." And like I said before, I really feel like I'm nobody special, but what I do is I keep the faith and I just have faith in God and what He does for me. And when I'm all set, I open up the day with prayer, or when we break for lunch, I'll say a prayer. And I always tell everybody and the cast and crew, I'll say, you know what? If you guys don't want to pray, it's cool. But if you just give me a moment of silence, let me just say my prayer. And then you could join along if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to, but just have, if you can respect that for a second. And then I'll say the prayer and then we're good, And sometimes you'll have people, they'll still talk, you know what I mean?
Oh,
But those
they
are
talk
people,
over the prayer.
yeah.
Wow.
And you're just like, you know what? Like, I'll pray for them a little harder next time,
Wow.
because I just don't have faith. Yeah, I know. That's what I say. Like, and then
Respectful.
that makes me think like, man, yeah, maybe I'm not gonna invite this person the next time,
Right.
But yeah, but I try not to be like that. I don't want to force nobody, because I don't believe in force feeding my beliefs on anybody.
Right.
But I'll just drop the little seeds and let God water them. You know what I mean?
That's
So
all.
that's the way I do it.
That's all you can do, Big Joe.
Yeah.
Speaking of that and how you are now, what do you think you credit to? I'm sure God, but what do you credit to as well, coming so far that you come from? Because I know you come from, if we rewind Big Joe 20, 30 years, you were totally, probably, I'm sure, a different Big Joe. You know what I mean? What do you credit to changing your life? I know it's with older age, you get older and things, but still, you still had a big change, it seems like, in your heart, mind. So what do you credit that to?
I credit that to my wife and my family, because before I met my wife, man, I was out there wreaking havoc, on the world. And then when I got together with her, I started to slow down a little bit. And then when we got engaged and we got ready to get married, I left the neighborhood and I told them, I went and I told the homies, I said, you know what? When I get married, I'm not going to come back. So if you guys need to jump me out, do what you got to do, man. But just letting you know, I'm not going to be doing that.
Right.
And they said, you know what, Joe, like, you put in your work, you did your thing. Like, no, definitely not going to jump you out. Let's just party with you Saturday, and then we'll be good. So I went back Saturday, and I was expecting to get hit in the back of the head or something. You know what I mean? But
Right.
no, we partied. Yeah, we partied, and then that was it, man. Then I've been.
I did hear you tell that story before. Now I remember. But I mean, realistically, Big Joe, you knew that. I mean, especially if they're your real homies, they couldn't. If you're leaving on those terms, you know what I mean. Like, I'm changing my life. That has to be respected. It's not like, oh, I'm just, you know what I mean, moving away, or I'm just whatever. Like, that had to be respected, and you're a respectable guy. So I'm sure that was no issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I just didn't want to like walk away or leave like all suspect. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what happened? Why did he leave all of a sudden? Why did he disappear? You know what I mean? I had to like put it on the table and say, this is what it is. And like, if we got to handle it, handle it, but now thinking about it, I'm like, man, why did I do that? But I know why I did it then, you know what I mean? And now, like, I realize why. So this May, me and my wife have been married 33 years. And yeah, I just, like, I told her, like, man, I just saved my life, because I know I would have been, either I'll be doing a life term right now, or I would have been dead for
Right.
sure, because I know everybody in my age bracket and from my neighborhood, that's what wound up happening. Either you have to get married and move away, or the other two things happen.
Right. Facts. And now, like you said, years later, I'm sure you still see some of your homeboys from time to time. And how do they feel? I'm sure they look at you now and, like, because I'm sure some maybe didn't believe you or didn't think you would last long doing that. Like, how do your homeboys perceive you now when, seeing how you are and your transgression and progression?
Yeah, man, they trip out, man. They trip out. Like Big Izzy right here. He's on here. He's one of our production assistants. I brought him on board with us, and he's one of my homeboys, man. And yeah, I talk to some of the guys my age. We get together also, and yeah, they're just proud of what I'm doing and the moves I'm making. And they
Right.
say, we see you, man. We see everything you're doing. Like, just keep it going, keep it pushing. And that's what I do, man. And I don't go, like, I try to, like, to get the youngsters not to go out there and gang bang and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they got to make their decision. I just say, hey, this is what the repercussions can be, because I don't want nobody to go out there and for any neighborhood. I'm not saying just mine, just any neighborhood, any kid to be out there laying their life down for something they don't need to, because at the end of the day, the victims are the parents, the family.
family.
You know what I mean? If that person gets killed, they're gone.
Yeah.
But it's the mom, the dad, or the girlfriends, the wives, whatever. You know what I mean? The kids, they're the ones that suffer without them. They're the ones that miss them. You know what I mean? And
And both families suffer. Someone's killed, someone goes to jail, prison, their family does the time with them too. You know what I mean?
exactly, man.
That's deep, brother. That's deep. What was it? Oh, that was crazy. You mentioned the kids because that was gonna be like my next question. Like, what do you think? Like you said, of not only the kids, but the say the neighborhood still, like even today, and how the kids act and how they do their thing. And like you said, what do you feel about that? Do you feel it's getting better or worse, or just like you said, it's hard with these kids? You got to let them kind of take their course. But do you see anything with the youngsters? Because it seems to be more and more of a disconnect a lot of times with the youngsters and the OG homies. You know, what do you think about the youngsters today?
Man, well, just young people, just all around young people nowadays, man, they have no respect, dog. I'm not talking about embodies. I'm just saying like all around, all colors, everything, man. They have no respect, man. When I grew up, yeah, we were gangbangers. We were out there, doing the worst things that you could think of. But when we were around adults, like say we went to the store, and let's say we went 5 or 6 of us, we weren't out there cussing and acting a fool.
Right.
You know, nowadays you go out there, these kids are cussing up a storm. They don't care at all. There's no respect. There's no honor. There's no dignity. There's nothing, man. And it's a trip. I trip out on that stuff because I'm like, what happened? All that's lost. Like the kids in the school system right now, they don't care either, man. They cuss out the principals.
For those teachers, bro, it's hard to be a teacher these days. It's got to be hard, especially. You know, I can see elementary, even that's getting bad. The kids 6, 7, but let alone middle school, junior, middle school, high school. Oh my God.
And middle school is the worst for kids because that's when they hit that age, that 12, 13. Right. And that's when they're like, they don't even know who they are. They're lost, like they're conflicted with their own, like their minds, their bodies, like their chemicals or their forget what they call it. It's all changing. You know what I mean? Everything's changing. They're so the puberty, what do they call that? Puberty. Yeah, and they're going through all that, so they can't even control their hormones and all that stuff. So they act real stupid with the staff. You know, they hit staff, they cuss out the school police. And you know what? You want to know the worst part of it? Man, don't even get me started. I have 2 kids that are teachers, and then my wife also works for the school district. And these kids, man, honestly, the power comes from the parents, because instead of being a parent, they want to be their friend. So they tell the kids, hey, you know what? Don't let them take your phone. I pay for that phone. But if the kid's on the phone during class or has the earbuds on listening to music during class, or that's bad, right? So they want to take away the phone from them so they can focus on what's happening. But then they tell the kids, no, you don't let nobody touch that phone. That's for us for an emergency. So then the kids get all mouthy and say, my mom, my dad said you don't touch my phone and I'm not going to give it to you. And they get loud and they start getting they start stirring up the rest of the class, which causes a disturbance. So at that point, nobody's learning in that overpacked 40 student class already. Right. I mean, as it is, it's already hard for them to learn. You got 40 kids to one teacher. I mean, come on. Then you have a kid that's acting like a knucklehead. And so then they go to the office and then they're still not listening. Then they're cussing out the
parents come and they ready to fight too.
Yeah, man, you don't even know, man. They do. The parents come, who took the phone down? I'm going to call the police because that's considered stealing. I mean, they get all irate and crazy. And it's like, you see, I wish I worked there because I'd be like, you know what? Like, this is your kid. This isn't your friend. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you need they need discipline. Straight up. Kids these days, they need discipline. I'm not even saying you got to beat them up, whoop their. Yeah, I'm not saying
better. But that's the difference. Like you said, when we were raised, bro, I mean, like you said, we were the baddest. You could be the baddest. I don't care, the baddest kid of all, but you still had most of the time. It was still a few cracks, but 90%, bro, of kids had respect, bro. You know what I mean? For elders, let alone your parents. You know what I mean? It was still that fear. You know what I mean? And or just respect. Period. You know, now it's just lost because, like you said, it starts off where the parents want to be the friend. You know, and then sometimes you just. I don't know. You know what I mean? You can't tell anyone how to raise their kids. That's not what I'm doing. But it's just like you said, it shows, like you just spoke on, and we're speaking on how these kids are these days.
Yeah.
Different, man.
Well, you can't tell nobody to raise kids, but I'll tell them, do a better job raising your kids, because if you don't do it, somebody's gonna do it. If they
Yeah.
don't mind you, they're gonna mind somebody eventually.
Somebody for sure.
And then that goes back to the gang banging, going back into the system, getting locked up. Because when they get locked up, God forbid, they're gonna listen to those correctional officers.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't go in there and say, you can't do this to my kid, you can't, because you ain't got no rights to say nothing.
Right.
You know, and then they're gonna be caught in a predicament saying, can I call my mom and dad? Like, no, you're 21 years old. Like, we don't want to, you get your butt back in that cell, or we're gonna like hog tie you and get you back in there. So it's crazy because the parents don't look at the long run, you know what I mean, the big picture of it all. You know, and people say like, but you have kids. I go, yeah, I have kids. They're adults now, but I raised them that way. I raised them to be respectful. I respect them to have their moral compass, even though they were young, to still have their moral compass set at north and know exactly, you know, how to treat people, how to act around people, and how to like have respect, man. You know what I mean? Just regular dignity, honor, respect, you know, period. When all that stuff happens, you know what I mean? And then I also raise my kids and around the church and to be, you know, godly, God-fearing people.
Right.
So, but I also tell them about school, man. And, you know, I had my kids, I would sit there and go online and print out their progress report and highlight everything I wanted them to fix, because I wasn't taught that. I wasn't like pushed on education whatsoever. If I didn't want to go to school, I didn't have to. If I wanted to ditch, I could ditch.
Right.
Education wasn't an important thing. So I wanted that for my kids, because I didn't want them to grow up the same life I did, because I grew up third generation from my neighborhood. Right. And I didn't want the fourth generation. So I just told my kids, get your education, get your education. As they all grew up, when they got into their 20s, one at a time, they were all like, hey, you know what? Like, thanks, Dad. Like, at the time, like we're mad at you, but now we know why. You know, because I taught them the difference between friends and acquaintances, because everybody they met at school was a friend. And I told them, that's not a friend. A friend, the word friend is very valuable. You have to like keep that exclusive for certain people that are going to be there. And you have to like distinguish between these are acquaintances, people I know, and then these are friends. You're only going to have a handful of friends,
right?
But you might have a million acquaintances. So they learn that. And now, like I tell them, where's all your friends from school? They go, if they're lucky, they talk to one or two people, you know, and just the way it is, you know.
That's real. That was deep, Joe, but that's real talk, bro. And really how you have to be, you know, and you said a lot of key things, and a lot of it starts, I think, you know, because the kid's still kid eventually gonna be who they are. But if you instill certain things with them early, you know what I mean, they never forget those things. It's things I know, no matter how I turned out, or the things I did, it's still things I remember that were instilled in me, you know, young, you know what I mean? And those things stick with you no matter what you're doing. You know what I mean? Those certain things will always be with you. So you could always go back to that. Like you said, when you have learned about God early, or certain mannerisms and respect, you know, things, they always stick with you. So even when you know you're doing wrong, that thing is going to be in your head, like, you know, at least, you know what I mean? You know better.
Yeah. If you know better, you do better. You know, like I had a cousin that and his daughter was a teenager. He would say, she don't listen, she's not doing her schoolwork. And I go, this that I was talking to him, you know, she don't learn. And what can I do? Nothing I can do. She'll learn later. And I said, man, you're the parent. That's a kid. The kid doesn't know what's best for them. You know, as a parent, what's best for them. So you have to lay the law down in your house and say, hey, this is what you're going to do. This is what I expect from you. And this is the way to form you to be a good citizen, be a good person, get good grades, you know, to get a great job. This is what you got to do. This is the blueprints. And because if you leave it up to the kid, what's the kid going to do? The kid's going to get in trouble. Yeah. They're going to be lost. You know what I mean? So you have to put in that effort as a parent, you know, and we signed up for it. When we have the kids, we sign up to be parents, and it's a tough job if you take it serious.
Yeah, it is, man. For you to have, I think you have 3 kids, right, Joe? Or 4?
Four.
Okay, wow. And you've raised all of them to be great. I mean, I mean, I'm sure that has to feel, you have to be proud, man, and just thankful because even though they did go almost perfect, it seems like it could have went bad. It could have went different ways. I'm sure you had your obstacles and different things along the years. But how does it feel, man, to have four grown kids doing well for themselves as adults, man? You know what I mean?
It's a blessing. Honestly, it really is. It's a blessing. And I'm proud of all of them, of each and every one of them. You know what I mean? For the accomplishments they did. They all, from going to graduating from high school and college and seeking their careers. Man, that's all I can say is I'm just proud of them. You know what I mean? And it took a lot of work for me and my wife, staying on top of them and making sure that they got their work done to get where they needed to. So,
Right.
yeah, for sure, man, because it's so easy just to drop the ball and say, you know what, I'm tired. I don't want to look into their grades, or I don't want to talk to them about their grades.
Right.
That's the easier way to do it. But we chose not to do the easier way. We chose to actually love them and watch them and make sure that they were going in the right path. And it takes a lot of energy.
Is that something? Because, like I said, I know back at those early days, you were still doing your thing and all that. So I'm sure it was hard to be just a perfect or great father. But did you just kind of learn? Because it seems like the blueprint you set or how you raised them is just like old school, like just good. You know what I mean? But I'm sure you had your obstacles. Did you learn along the way by each kid, or did your wife really help? Like, how did you learn to be that type of father? Not only to love them and care, but like you said, do all these extra things and just you know what I mean. That the great father you are.
You know what? The thing about it, me and my wife, we did it together, but we made sure to keep God above everything. So everything we did, we let God, direct us. We asked Him for guidance, because there's a lot of times when you're raising kids, you're like, man, what do I do? Oh man, this situation happens. Like, how am I gonna go about the discipline, or how am I gonna go about? But also, when they did good, we rewarded them too. You know what I
Right.
mean? We did things for the kids, take them to Knott's Berry Farm, did things when they did good things, and that was a lot. So trust me, man, we paid a lot going to Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, Universal Studios. But when they earned it, they earned it. You know what I mean? And so, but it was hard, man. It really was. It was hard in the fact that, especially when you're first one, you don't know. And the kids don't come with instructions. So you
Right.
just got to do the best you can. But I think as each one you're raising, you're learning and becoming better at it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was tough, but at the same time, it was well worth it, man. Because
Was
um,
did you ever have to deal with any issues? I know you got sons too, right?
I got
With
one
the
son.
one son. Okay, I'm sorry. Did he ever have to go through the kind of the gang thing phase, or was or did you kind of stir, or was he just not that type of kid? Some kids are just not. That's not for them, but some they maybe even go through that path before they get out of it. I don't know.
No, he didn't know. I kept him in sports. He played football in high school, and I kept him busy. Kept him in sports. I kept an eye on who his friends were, who his circle was. And man, I'm proud to say, man, he was like a nerd. He was like a big time nerd, like very educated and
Right.
very into like his grades. He had like 4.0 GPA, every year. He was one of the valedictorians.
Wow.
Yeah, but I made sure like who he's hanging out with, where he's going. Like I stayed on top of that stuff, because it just takes one time for them to slip up and get into a bad predicament.
Right. Right.
And I know that because that's what I went through.
Right. Yeah, man, that's has to be beautiful, man. Like you said, he's like a nerd, but that's the got to be the best feeling in the world to have you say my kid is a nerd. So, like you said, he's not thinking about any other BS. So that's beautiful, Joe, man. It seems like you were truly blessed, and salute to your wife too, because I know she has to be a major part in this, man.
Big time, just to deal with me. Just to deal with me, man. I told her all the time. I go, man, just you dealing with me, I give you a lot of brownie points right there.
Right, right, right. And going back a little bit again, we talked about the movie thing. I want to go back to that because, like you said, I think first we commended you on doing so much in so little time, only 4 years, brother. Again, bless you. Like even you spoke on, there's very few people have done the things you've done in 4 years, let alone even close. So that has to be a blessing. But I know you've worked on some great projects, some great movies, independent films, and other films. You worked on the big. I know. Let me go back a bit because again, 4 years. I remember when you were talking about still going to acting school and taking classes, and it's like now, fast forward, you're like a executive in this stuff, man. Like again, salute to you, Joe. But tell me some of the out of the all the projects you worked on, what are some of your favorites, if not a favorite?
Some of my favorites is like the movie Kilroy.
Kilroy.
That's one of my
That was the
favorites.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah, Kilroy is one of the movies. Tomorrow's Game with Paul Rodriguez. That's one of the fun ones right there. That's a movie. It's like Sandlot and Back to the Future type of movie. It's just like a fun action-packed movie all the way through. It wound up being my wife and all four of my kids. Out of all the movies I've done, that's one of their favorites right there because they said it was just really like fun and energetic type of movie. You can see that one right now on Amazon Prime. It's called Tomorrow's Game. And then this last one we did was it's called Those Who Inherit the Earth. I play a bad guy, man. I play a guy that me in the movie, me and my girlfriend, we beat her kid, and he winds up dying.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it's one of those stories of child abuse and how the cops dropped the ball on the kid. And you know, my wife's like, man, you sure you want to do that role? I said, well, somebody has to do it. If somebody has to bring child abuse, you know, the awareness of child abuse to the out there into the movie industry. Right. And if I got to be a bad guy to get the word out there, maybe it'll save somebody's life. Maybe it'll click in somebody's mind to say, hey, I saw this kid or this family acting weird or whatever, then I'll do it. And I did it, and my wife had a hard time watching that. Well, they don't show us, but you can hear the abuse happening and stuff like that. And so she's like, man, that's a tough one right there. But
yeah, wow. So yeah. How is it playing a role like that? Do you, I'm sure it's hard, but do you appreciate it after too? Because I'm sure it makes you that much of a greater actor when you have to do something you really don't like.
Yeah, because you know what? I had a hard time doing that role because I was thinking, remember when in that movie Selena, when she got killed, right. Everybody hated that actress,
right?
Because they associated her being the one that killed Selena when really she wasn't,
right?
And she got a lot of hate, but all she was the actress, you know. So I thought that too. I go, man, if people see me, they might say, hey, that's that guy. But I just left it in God's hands. I said, you know, I'm going to do your will, God, and if bringing like this topic to the forefront, if I got to do this to do that, then I'm good. You know what I mean?
Speaking not to get off subject, hey, thank you, Jimenez Video Productions. Thank you, brother. Not to get off subject, but speaking of Selena and that lady, you know, I know you've heard about the real lady supposed to be coming out soon, and the things they talking about doing, having her, you know, going on a tour and promotions and books and, you know, platforms. What do you think about that?
Man, I don't think she'll last.
But I said the same thing, but somebody made a point though. On the flip side, we're in a world now, bro, where, you know, you have a lot of people that tune into that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Even though they probably won't even admit it, you know, the same people that be saying that's crazy or that's sick, she'll have 100,000 views. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's crazy like that these days, Joe. You know what I mean?
No, it's facts, man, because you can come on any platform and do negative, just some bad content, and you'll go viral. You'll be all good. You can go on here and talk about God, talk about grace, talk about feeding the homeless, and get like 5 or 6 likes. You know,
right?
What I mean? And then get people saying, oh, he collects money, but he steals it, or he's not really feeding the homeless, or he's feeding them rice and beans. He's not giving them steak. You'll get all kinds of criticism and everything. So, but you'll do bad content, and they'll be like, you'll get like be monetized and do great for that. It's a twisted way.
Let's talk about it, because going on what I see every day, it's almost sad. It's sick. Like I look at, you know, I watch stuff and I want to be entertained. I'm watching everything, but it's just like you say, the majority. And thank you, Corey. I think that was Corey. I'm sorry before I continue. Thank you, Corey. But the majority of the stuff you see on the timelines, bro, is negative, man, and it's sad. You got grown men, going at each other back. It's just like it's sad, bro. You know what I mean? And so that's the only reason I asked that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know.
We went from a world that used to feed off of love to a world that feeds off of hate.
Right.
Facts. And
Facts.
that's all facts. You go on YouTube and find it right now and find all that bad stuff with millions of views and all the good stuff with a few likes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what only thing I was saying about her coming out. And like you said, the crazy part it would be she will low key blow up, not blow up, but just
Yeah.
the fame and all that, and it's kind of crazy, man. But
Selena was so loved and her fan base was so strong, and by people even from my age bracket, because she would have been like more my age bracket.
Yeah.
Oh man, I kind of feel like she would be more like of a trophy for somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning that stuff. That's just my
because a lot of people love Selena. A lot of people hate that lady, bro. So I don't think it would be. I could see her writing a book or whatever if that's what she wants to do in the background. But as far as coming out and going on platforms and all this, at the benefit of I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a different world. It's a Tekashi 6ix9ine generation.
There you go.
Where all that stuff is acceptable and tolerated. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see. But all I can say is like, God bless that lady, because she's got to go and speak to the big guy when she goes up there.
Yeah. That's a fact. So yeah, we talked about again on the movies, your favorite projects and all that. So let me ask you another 2-part question. I know you played different roles. Is there a role that you would like to play or see yourself playing in the future? That's my first part question.
You know what? I keep diving into acting, wanting to do acting, and me and End Up, man, we went to class together, and he's still doing it, man. He's still on the grind for acting. But and you ever feel like you're swimming upstream, right, and you're not getting nowhere? Well, that's kind of what I feel like. I was trying to get into the acting situation, but God kept pushing me into the producing part. And so, like, my honest opinion, and I'll say it right here, man. My honest opinion is I feel God wants me to do faith-based movies or do movies of positivity, just good, feel-good movies.
Right.
And so I'm just gonna follow what he wants me to do because I'm tired of swimming upstream and trying to do what Joe wants to do. I just gotta they say, let go of the wheel. Say, Jesus, take the wheel, because I'm not in control of this whatsoever. And so he keeps blessing me and pushing different projects to me. But they're coming so fast, and I'm just like, I get overwhelmed sometimes, But yeah, I just say a prayer and I just keep pushing, man.
Joe, man, bro, you're dropping gems tonight, man. That what you just said right there is powerful. Like, swimming upstream and just saying, hey, give it to God, because I'm tired. Because man, I felt like you were talking to me right there, bro. You know what I mean? That's real talk, man. Wow.
Yeah, sometimes we do, man. Because if we think we're in control, we're not, man. We're not, and we just gotta have faith in him, because what God says, like, faith without works is dead, right? So we have to still continue to work. We can't sit there and say, all right, God, throw some movies my way. It doesn't work that way. We got to get out there and hustle and grind. And then he starts putting projects our way. When I first started, man, I did my first 3 movies for free. I was just volunteering and getting things done. And then they saw what I could do. And then I started getting pulled. Hey, we need Joe on with this. I work for different production companies, not just Cedar Films. So this one will call, hey, we need you. Can you help us with this? Or can you help us with that? And so I was going left and right, just working on different projects, man. So when COVID hit, man, that was like a break for me, because it was like I was going hard all the way until then. And then that was a little break. And then now we're back at it. So
is that some type of union thing you have to be in, or you are involved in with the industry that you work in with film?
No, not as a producer. As an actor, you should be get into SAG, right? But that's only if you want to. See, back in the day, being an independent filmmaker, an indie filmmaker, it was kind of like a four-letter word back then. It's kind of like nobody wanted to be a part of that. Everybody wanted to go and work for Paramount or Universal or MGM. They wanted to work for the big production companies. Now it's the reverse. Everybody wants to be an independent because there's so many platforms. You can make a movie tomorrow and get it put on or get it purchased by Netflix, Hulu, or get it put on Amazon Prime, Tubi, Freebie. Like, there's so many platforms that will take it, as long as it's good, obviously,
Right.
and it's done the correct way. But if you do a good movie, they'll put it on those platforms and you can make your money. And so you don't need the big studios no more. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that are investing in doing your independent films. There's a lot of people that are just working with each other, like Chicano Hollywood. I work with Chicano Hollywood and Johnny Murillo, and they're educating, everybody, not just Chicanos. They're educating everybody out there, whether you're Latino or you're Black or you're, because it's harder for Black and Mexican, Asians to get into the industry, because as it is with our color, we're already behind the 8 ball. So when we help each other, though, when we unify and we get each other, arm in arm, then we get things done together. So what Johnny's doing is he's educating everybody on how to be an actor, how to be a movie producer, how to write a script, how to make your own short films, documentaries, stuff like that. And he's offering classes for people. So you can sign up, pay. It's only like different fees, like $70 or whatever. And you go and you take these classes, but they're filled with knowledge that's very valuable, very, very valuable. And so if you're interested in getting in the industry, hit up Chicano Hollywood on Instagram.
Hey, speaking of doing the classes, because I remember when you were taking classes, you know what I mean? Do you think moving now, fast forward later, do you think those classes and the stuff you did helped you any? Because sometimes people say it didn't help or you just had to do it because you had to do it. Do you think that helped you?
It helped me in a lot of ways. It helped me not just in the acting, but it helped me in life. It helped me almost like a therapy.
Right.
It was I went in there and I paid for this class, and the teacher said, "You know what, Joe? Because I'm older, so I'm sitting there and I'm with my back against the wall watching everybody, and everybody's like geeking out, doing their thing. They don't have. There's a lot of white students there, and they don't have that, like, you got to be macho, you got to be. They're just enjoying the class and
carefree,
and carefree. And I'm right there, and the instructor goes, "Hey," he goes, "Joe, his name's Anthony Gilardi. He's one of the best acting coaches there is." And he's like, "Hey, Joe, you can sit there and do that, but you're paying for these classes. You're the one that's losing out right now." He goes, "But drop that. When you walk into class, just be yourself and just get into the characters." He goes, "And you'll benefit a lot more." And I thought about it for a minute. I go, "Yeah, I'm just wasting my time because it's a 2-hour drive to class there and 2 hours back."
Right.
So that's what I did, man. I dropped that shield and I just got into what I had to do. And I was just wound up, doing my classes, and I learned a lot, but it became almost like therapy. Like for me to realize that, hey, you don't always have to be watching your back like that. Not in that setting.
Yeah. It's crazy you say that, Joe. I was thinking about this about a week ago. I was somewhere out, a store, I don't know, somewhere, and I just happened to be tripping out. You always, you watch people, and I was watching like just some white guys that came in there, white people. The thing I love about them, and it finally hit me that day, when most of the time when you see them, like you said, how we are naturally, just how we walk, how we act, talk, posture, all that. And you see a lot of these, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, you see white people, man, they just like carefree. They don't have any of that about them. They don't care how they a lot of times look, act, not in a bad way, but just like carefree, opposed to how we are, like you said, watching everything and aware and making sure we're spiffy and everything, you know what I mean, when they're just like carefree. So that made me think about that, like you said. A lot of times
they're carefree. Oh, it's true. They're carefree with their cargo shorts and their flip-flops or their Crocs, just enjoying life.
Yeah, not to worry about that's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's really cool. You
I
know,
wish that was something we could experience, but like you said, we don't come from that. But it's a trip when you see that, though. You know what I mean? Like, wow, you know.
yeah. It's a trip, man. But it's like I did learn that, and I learned how to drop my defenses when I didn't need to have those up. You know what I
Right.
mean, of course, we go places we're always on point, you know, but there's some places you don't have to do that, like a
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that was very valuable to me, man. Really valuable, and I felt like it was like a pivoting point for me
Yeah.
at the age. I think I was 50 at the time. So it
Right.
was like I was tripping out. And then when I was getting into the characters, and little by little, as the months went by, I was getting more into the characters and more into it. And I was just like, I felt that change in me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's hard to explain, but it's something you feel inside. And so doing that class alone, like say I just dropped acting and didn't do it no more, doing that class alone, like just
Helps you.
helped me realize a lot of things about my life, and
Right.
helped me to realize that I don't have to be, you
Yeah.
know,
I
ready to square up at any moment. You know what I mean?
think that's growth too. That speaks volumes too, because as well, I think again, like everything you just said comes with growth, opposed to how we have to be all the time. Of course, we're on point. But I think with growth and real mature and just real faith in God and just having a different mindset, like you said, you go anywhere now. I mean, that's how I feel too. Like, you know, and just not saying I'm not on point or not like, you know, I'm this and that, but you're not worried too much, man, about anything because it's in God's hands. And you know the energy you bring, that's just gonna manifest in the atmosphere as well. So it's not like you're worried. I'm not worried anywhere I go, for the most part. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
it's how you feel, and you know the energy you're bringing. You know what I mean? So anything else other than that is in God's hands. You know?
exactly. You know, like they say, there's a time and a place.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, and we know there's a time and a place, and sometimes there is a time when we have to be like
yeah.
extra on point.
Exactly.
But then there's times that you don't. You know what I mean? You don't have to be at a baby shower with your back against the wall, looking
Right.
around. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, so it was very, very important, and it was very valuable for me to learn.
Right. Man, that's a beautiful story. And I think I asked you, I had a two-part question, but I forgot. I think the second part um um was oh yeah, on the production side, Joe, what do you see? Hey, Deandra, shout out to Deandra Chanel, my co-host on Tuesday nights. Where do you see yourself going with the production? Are you trying to I know you're growing in that field as well, and you see yourself, like you said, more on the production side opposed to acting. Where are you trying to take your production credits and skills, and you know, are we going to see Big Joe, a real big director one day? Like, what is the future plans for Joe on the production side?
Yeah, I'm supposed to, man, I haven't told nobody this, but I'm supposed to be directing this summer my first full feature film.
Oh,
But like I always say, man, like it's not a done deal until they have the funding there and it's ready to roll. You know what I mean?
right, right,
So I try not to really like talk about it or put it out there. I just like pray about it and say, God, if you want me to do this, if this is the one you want me to do, then it's all gonna happen in its time. But as far as I know, it's gonna happen. But like I said, there's been a lot of times in life where, hey, this is gonna go down, this is gonna happen, and then it just falls through. So
right. And I know Big Joe, we spoke about earlier. You know, big companies, of course, the Paramounts and the, you know, all these big companies, and you talked about a lot of people now being independent more. What do you like prefer, being that you know both sides? Because I know a lot of people that come from, because now it is more independent and different things happening, how things are produced and all that, right? But people that probably come from before it changed and really come from that era, they may be a little spoiled or they just may be used to things. So where do you see that? How does that break down? And then for you personally, how do you feel and how do you like it? Do you like the old way with the big, working with the big studios, or do you prefer independency?
I prefer the independent because you're able to create what you want to create without having a big studio telling you the checklist saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're able to do what you want to do and put it on your platform, or whatever platform takes it, they're going to take it for what it is, you know, or
Right.
if they buy it, well, they can buy it and redo it if they want, or whatever they want to do with it. That's on them because they already cashed you out. But if you're going to have something that's made from you, then you're able to do how or put the movie together the way you want to. And that's the freedom. I like that freedom to be able to do that, you know. And all the producers I work with the different production companies, that's that they love about it, is to be able to have their vision on the way they want it. Yeah, it's never too late
Right.
to go to school, for sure. And like think about like this movie industry I started when I was 50. You know, I'm 54 now. And so I got a late start, but I figured it was all in God's timing. And I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying it big time. Like when I go to work, I don't even feel like I'm at work.
That's
You
beautiful.
know,
That's what you want to be. That's where you want to be at in life when you work, because we all have to work, but work and don't feel like it or don't feel, feel good about it. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. And I'm glad you spoke on that. And Monica in the chat, love Grace, because she started late too and just got her degrees and she's doing great. But how do you, because I'm in that boat for the most part. I would love to, but how do you convince someone older? Because you're at a point where like, hey, you don't got the time. It's hard enough now to get time for anything. You may work already, a lot of time's taken up, let alone trying to go to class, you know what I mean, or go to school for something. And it's a lot when you're older. How would you convince someone to do that? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you're never too old. Like look at like Sonny Boy Acosta.
Yeah.
He's going back to college. He's been going hitting classes, man. He's really been doing it, man. And I think he's working towards an associate's degree or maybe a bachelor's degree. Like he's just been doing class after class. And even though he's even going through health issues, he's still hitting the book, still doing his tests, and he's still like coming out with A's and B's. So like I'm proud of that guy, man. And he's probably like 155 years old and he's still out there doing it, man. So proud of that guy.
He's like Rodney Dangerfield going back.
Yeah.
Shout out to
he's there. I don't get no respect. Yeah, Sonny's a good guy, man. I told him, I go, he don't have a backpack. He needs one of those backpack with wheels so he can roll around the campus over there. Yeah.
That's funny.
Maybe it's like it might be like cliche, but age is a number. It's how you feel. And if you really want to get the education, you can go do it. Like, why not? If you got it at 40, you got it at 60. Either way, you want to get that knowledge. Go for it, man. Go and enjoy it. And I think you'll absorb it a lot more than you would have when you were in your 20s.
Right.
A lot of people in their 20s, they go to college and they just party.
Right.
And I think maybe if you're like in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you're going to enjoy it a lot more than you would at the earlier ages, because you're not really, you don't have that knowledge of age,
Right. And too, there's multiple ways to get it. Like I know you can do it online now and all that, but they have online, but would you prefer someone doing it personally, going to the classes, or you think online is okay? Or what do you think about that?
I'm not an online guy. When COVID hit, we had an option to do our online classes for acting. And I tried to do it. I wasn't jiving with that, man. I couldn't do classes. So yeah.
Okay.
On Amazon Prime, it's going to be Tomorrow's Game with Paul Rodriguez. And I believe Kilroy is still on there. Kilroy. And then I believe, I'm not even sure if they put it on Amazon Prime. It's Those Who Inherit the Earth. Those Who Inherit the Earth. That's another one. And then we have man, there's so many. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot that I've been a part of. You can go on IMDb, which is the International Movie Database, IMDb, and put my name, Joey Castro Jr., and then all my movies will come out. And then they'll show you where they're located to watch.
I didn't know that's all the time. That's what that meant right there. I always just see the IMDb. I never knew the definition. You learn something every day.
Yeah.
Hey, how was it working with Paul Rodriguez, man?
Man, honestly, that was amazing. It was amazing to sit there on set. And that day I was a producer on that movie. And he sat there and my boss goes, "Hey, Joe, like, just kick back with Paul, make sure he's cool, talk to him, and like that if he needs something, just all right, cool." I sat there with 10 hours. I sat there for 10 hours with them. And he was telling me
Wow.
stories about his mom, his dad, where he grew up, like, man. And he was telling me stories about him knowing Selena when she was a little girl and being friends with her dad, and going to Nelson Mandela's house in Africa and having dinner with
Wow.
them,
So he
kicking
like from
back with,
the hood, like Compton or somewhere, ain't he?
yeah, I think South Central.
Okay,
I think
okay.
that's where he's from. Yeah, he was raised. And then kicking back with Richard Pryor and driving his Rolls Royce to go pick up cigarettes at a liquor store.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a trip, man. Like, he just told me story after story. And he goes, Joe, like, I'm like, can I interview you? You know, because I want to start a YouTube channel. He goes, yeah, you come to the house. He goes, I have pictures to show you. You could put them on there. Then COVID hit. And I didn't want to go to his house and have him get sick or something like that happen. And I take out a legend. So
Right.
we just postponed it. And then I just wound up not going. I talked to him about a month ago. No, in January, where during his birthday, and he invited me to one of his shows, comedy shows, but I wasn't able to make it to the show. But man, he's a great man. He's a great man. He's funny and he improvises. Like, you can give him lines, he'll do the lines, but then he'll say, "Hey, let me try it this way," and then he tries it his way, and it comes out a lot more better
Right.
than what it was written on the script. That the guy's phenomenal, man. He was born with a blessing, to be funny and to be a great actor.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a legend, man. Shout out to him. That had to be incredible working with him and just adding to your resume of great things, man. Like I asked you earlier, what was your most best, I guess, movie you worked on? But what would you say? It's gonna be it, and we'll end it. But what would you say was your highest peak or thing you enjoyed the most so far? Like I asked you about your favorite production, but what do you say in total has been your greatest moment on this journey so far?
Like, the greatest moment, because you're kind of broken up, but the greatest moment of this journey, is that what you
Yes.
said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we're kind of like, you're frozen right now. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah, I can hear you. I don't know.
Okay, now I can hear you. The
Okay.
greatest moment so far of this whole thing was 2 years ago. I got a Lampa Award from the Latin American Motion Picture Awards, and that day that I got it, Danny Trejo got it, which is Machete. Pepe Cerna got one, and Art Bonilla. All three of them are from American Me.
Oh, wow.
And so I got an award with them, and I was able to take a picture with those three gentlemen. It was all four of us, and that's like one of those great moments right there.
Wow.
And I was the only one the whole time. That's what I thought. I'd love to get a picture with them three, and it happened. And I was the only person to get a picture with them three. People got pictures like singles, but not with all three together. And
Right.
that's one of those moments, Yeah, I was up on stage and they gave me the award, and I'm sitting up there, had the tux and stuff, and I'm looking out the crowd, and we had a lot of the guys from the Mayans TV show were there, like a lot of different actors and actresses were there. But when I'm saying my speech, that was after Chris Rock got slapped.
Oh, wow.
So when I'm up there, I'm like, all right, I was gonna come up here and say a few jokes, but looking at Machete right there, Danny Trejo, I don't know if I want to get him mad. I don't want to get slapped up here. And then I look at Pepe Cerna, and I go, just a room full of people I don't want to piss off. And it had everybody was like laughing and stuff. But that was one of those great moments.
Right. That's what's up. That's a beautiful thing. So again, we'll end it right here, Big Joe. I don't want to hold you too long, man, but I think we talked about everything. But before we go again, got to tell them again about this big show coming up. I think we got about 2 weeks left, 2 or 3 weeks left. Again, tell them about the big Nationwide Presents, Big Joe.
Nationwide Presents, April 27th, Adelanto Stadium. Man, Little Rob, MC Magic. Let's see. See, I said it so many times in these past few months. Let's see, Little Rob, MC Magic, Jenny 6ix9ine, Rolls Royce, Bella the Rapper,
Lefty
Gunplay, Little Grifo, Yeah, it's a big lineup, and we're gonna have 100-foot media wall, red carpet. That's gonna be Chicano Hollywood is gonna be running the red carpet event. We have a bunch of influencers, actors, just celebrities coming out. It's gonna be covered by Getty Images. Yeah, it's gonna be a phenomenal event. After we have an after party, it's separate tickets for the after party with Lefty Gunplay and other rappers that are going to be doing that in a separate venue on the same property, but up on top. It's just going to be a great event, man. You guys come out. I guarantee you guys are going to have a great time. If you let it happen, you're going to go out there and have a great time. And you guys come out. You guys can see Eric Finch, right? That's the Snoop Dogg lookalike.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. The guy. Hey, this dude looks just like I said, man, them dubs got me today. I'm watching it. I'm like, wow. Then I remembered he was gonna be there, but dope.
Man, he's such a cool guy, man. He was that guy right there. He was just on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually works for Snoop and does some stuff for him too.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's just a great guy, man. Great friend. But it's gonna be a great time. So if you guys see me, you guys say hi, I'll say hi. But you know what, man? There's sometimes where we're doing the events, I'm just focused, like we got to get this done, and I'm running back and forth. And so stop me, grab me by the shoulder, say, hey, Joe, I want to say hi. And then I'll take a second, take a beat real quick and say hi to you guys, take a picture, whatever. And then just want you guys to come out and have a good time and have something you guys can enjoy. And come out and see Mr. G-Lew.
Yay.
There we go.
It's gonna be gigantic, people. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a real big event. I think, again, like I said, again, you and Dub Nationwide are about to change the game with this, man. You know what I mean? So everyone, make sure you're there. We got the link in the chat. Get your tickets right there. Eventbrite. DD left the link in the chat. But again, I want to thank our special guest again for coming back to the show for a second time. The legend himself, the living legend, OG Big Joe, the official Big Joe at IG. Make sure you go follow him, tap in. He has a YouTube channel as well, doing a lot of great things. But again, thank you, Big Joe. We really appreciate it, bro.
Nah, I appreciate you, man. You and DD and your whole crew out there. I appreciate you guys. And just blessed to be on your show, man, be on your platform right here. My platform is going to be coming up real soon. I have a few little things on there, but I'm almost done with my studio so I can get on it.
Okay.
So, yeah, very soon I'm going to be having some really good guests coming on here.
Okay, looking forward to that, Big Joe. Much love and respect, man. Again, don't forget, people, April 27th, Adelanto, California, the show of the decade. Nationwide presents. Shout out to the homie N-Dub too. And once again, the homie Big Joe. Thank you, everyone. Yes, it's been another clap. Miss 702. What's up, sweetheart? But thank you, everyone. Once again, we're out of here. We'll see you again on Sunday night for Odie's Rule Forever. Everyone have a great weekend. Once again, Big Joe, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Love.
Thank you. All respect and love, man.
Peace. And we're out of here. People, we'll see you again on Sunday. Again, thank you again.
Back in the days when I was young, trying to make a way, coming up fast in the game, just trying to make a play. Now that I'm grown, I think of ways I can get away, get away. Back in the days when I was young, trying to make a way, coming up fast in the game, just trying to make a play. Now that I'm grown, I think of ways I can get away, get away. Back in the days when I was young, trying to come up, a student in the game, so I always stay one up. Study with my gun up and my eyes on the prize. Never listen to the phonies, cause I know they told lies. And when I say phonies, I ain't talking about the homies, I'm talking about you busters, you're the ones who turned on me. Time will reveal all the haters when they still try to kill all my joy, but they never can destroy the makings of a man, foundations of a boy who made it out the struggle, trying to make a little more. This is how I score a point game. Speak up on the real, we don't tolerate you suckers and you lames. Niggas trying to profit off the game, leading little homies down the wrong road. You gotta make a change, the game ain't the same as it used to.